Did you know some parasites can take control of their hosts and turn them into real-life zombies? What's more, you may be one of them. It sounds like something out of a horror movie, doesn't it? Some researchers believe parasites might be subtly influencing human behavior in ways we don't fully understand. So, are you really in control of your own mind? Or is something else pulling the strings? More on humans in a moment, but do you know the most famous mind control parasite in nature? If you said Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, better known as the zombie ant fungus, you are correct, and you're likely a fan of The Last of Us. This parasitic fungus has one goal: survival. To achieve it, it turns carpenter ants into its unwitting servants. Here's what happens. First, the ant makes contact with the O. unilateralis spore. Next, the spore attaches to the ant and drills into its exoskeleton. When this is complete, the fungus feeds on the ant's insides and begins to spread throughout the ant's body. It ultimately hijacks the ant's nervous system, making the ant change its behavior. The ant walks drunkenly, driven to go toward the nearest tree where it is forced by the fungus to climb up a twig or stem and lock onto it with its jaws. Scientists call this the death grip. Once the ant is locked in place, the fungus takes over completely. First, a stalk emerges from the ant's head. This grotesque fungal growth eventually bursts, releasing spores to rain down on other ants below. The cycle continues, ensuring that Ophiocordyceps spreads like an airborne horror story. Zombification is now complete. True or false? Ophiocordyceps can infect humans. If you said false, you're right, for now. While this particular fungus isn't a threat to humans, another mind-controlling parasite might already be inside you. Do you know what that fungus is? Nerds, allow me to introduce you to Toxoplasma gondii, otherwise known as T. gondii. It's a microscopic parasite with a terrifying ability to alter behavior. But before we get to humans, you first need to know about cats. Why cats? Because T. gondii can only reproduce in the intestines of a feline host. The question is how. Well, these clever little buggers target rodents, and as we all know, cats eat rodents. But here's the problem. Rodents naturally avoid cats. So what does T. gondii do? It rewires their brains. Studies have shown that T. gondii hijacks dopamine production, the feel-good hormone, making infected animals more fearless, impulsive, and drawn to risk. The rodent, unaware of its altered state, marches straight into the jaws of death, all for the sake of T. gondii's reproduction. Here's what happens. They experience a complete personality shift, losing their fear of cats. In fact, they become weirdly attracted to the scent of cat urine, making them easy prey for cats. And once a cat eats the infected rodent, T. gondii gets exactly what it wants. It is now able to reproduce inside of that cat's intestines. Back to humans, where it gets truly horrifying. Humans can be infected too. Estimates suggest that between 30 and 50% of the global population carries T. gondii without realizing it. And lest you think this is just some rare, exotic phenomenon happening in distant rainforests, think again. It's everywhere. This includes an estimated 60 million people in the United States alone who are chronically infected. The parasite doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care about your age, race, income, or where you live. And worse, once it's inside you, it can be there for life. Take a moment and ponder that. Could the T. gondii parasite be controlling you as you watch this video? Since most people don't experience noticeable symptoms, how would you know? Here's how. Some researchers believe T. gondii subtly alters human behavior in disturbing ways. For example, infected individuals take more risks. Men with T. gondii are more likely to display aggression and rule-breaking behavior. Women with T. gondii may become more trusting and sociable, potentially making them easier to manipulate. And people with T. gondii are more likely to engage in reckless driving. Did you know? Studies suggest that infected individuals are up to 2.6 times more likely to be involved in car accidents. True or false? Some researchers believe T. gondii could be influencing entire human societies. The answer is true. While controversial, studies have found that countries with high infection rates display higher levels of risk-taking, entrepreneurship, and even increased rates of violent conflict. Well, this made me wonder how the T. gondii parasite infects humans to begin with. The most common way seems to be through foodborne transmission, specifically eating contaminated undercooked meat or shellfish or unwashed contaminated fresh produce. Yet that's not all. Back to the cats. A human can accidentally consume the parasite through contact with cat poop or contaminated soil that contains toxoplasma. Sorry, cat owners, this makes you at increased risk. Does anyone know the third way? It's also possible for T. gondii to be transmitted from mother to child. Human zombies aren't just fiction. Parasites are real. They're everywhere, and they're masters of manipulation. True or false, there is a possible silver lining to parasite infestation. The answer is true. Scientists are exploring how to learn from the ways in which parasites hack the nervous system. For example, they are now researching ways to use parasite-driven mind control for medical applications. This includes treatments for neurological disorders. Imagine if the negatives of parasite manipulation can be turned positive to treat conditions like Parkinson's or schizophrenia. Well, this sent my already over-caffeinated, curiosity-driven nerdy brain percolating. How about yours? And if your nerdy brains found this video fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for not only more videos, but to help build the largest community of nerds in the world. Signing off, but the nerdy synapses never rest. Nerdy and proud.